I am Dr. Nirmala Chava, Associate Professor, St. Anne's College of Education, Hyderabad. Today, we are going to learn types of learning. Everyone knows, I hope, what is learning. First, let us see learning. Learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge or modifying existing behavior. Let us see some of the definitions given by important psychologists. Kingsley and Al Gary says that learning is a process by which behavior is originated or changes through practice or training. According to Kimball, relatively, a permanent change in behavioral potentiality that occurs as a result of reinforced practice. So, learning is permanently changed. Henry P. Smith says that acquisition of knowledge or acquisition of new behavior or strengthening or weakening of old behavior as the result of experience. According to Murphy, learning covers every modification in behavior to meet environmental requirements. Finally, I could say learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge or modifying existing behavior. So now let us see what are the different types of learning. There are four types of learning which we are going to learn it today: factual, associations, procedural, and generalization. Factual learning is a process which emphasizes the acquisition or storage of information to be relevant on demand. A subject matter area has both a body of factual information to be mastered and to which it contributes. So, here emphasizes the acquisition and storage of information to be retrievable on demand. Factual learning is that it says that you have to retrieve on demand. It is described as the basic information about a particular subject or discipline that student must be acquainted with. This may include the terminology and the specific details or elements of a subject. Factual learners learn most thoroughly and efficiently when material is presented to them as facts, data, and detailed experimentation. Means we need to explain in detail, then this factual learning takes place. Factual learners acquire knowledge when you efficiently, thoroughly, that material is presented to them. It includes knowledge of terminology and specific facts. Then, an emphasis on conceptual learning in the classroom will assume that a student will have a thorough grasp of the factual knowledge entitled by the subject matter or the course. So, factual learners, when you present it in a simplified way, they will be learning. Student success in the course, mostly uh, in competitive exam or anything, when they learn very thoroughly, then only they will be able to learn properly. So, factual learner needs that describing material or information point to point, very concrete material we have to give it to them. Next one is associations learning. Association learning is the process by which someone learns an association between two stimuli or a behavior and a stimulus. So they will associate and learn. That's why it is called as associative learning. there is association between a stimulus and a response. In associative learning, an animal does learn to do something new or better. We all know about the conditioning. Pavlov did classical conditioning and Skinner did operant conditioning. According to Pavlov's classical conditioning, modification of behavior in which a conditioned stimulus is paired with second stimulus that elicit a particular response, known as unconditioned stimulus. Everyone knows this theory. So, when conditioned stimulus also paired with second stimulus to elicit a particular natural response. That is classical conditioning says. So here organism learns that particular behavior to exhibit. In operant conditioning, control of the behavior by the consequences of its action. Here in operant condition, organism is reinforced. So associative learning can be a powerful classroom management and teaching tool and has many uses in the classroom. It can be used to help students connect with information more deeply and recall that information with great accuracy. It helps in classroom. So, associative learning is a learning principle that states that ideas and experiences reinforce each other and mentally linked to one another. In a nutshell, it means our brains were not designed to recall information in isolation. So we recall it as a whole. We recall it with some association. So that is the reason we are able to remember easily. In isolation, it is very difficult to remember or retrieve, recall the information. So associative learning occurs when a response is rewarded. The person learns to associate his or her behavior with a pleasant consequences. Okay, so if the consequence is pleasant or reward is given, that will be reinforced. So learning takes place naturally. We have understood the terms of operant conditioning and classical conditioning. In associative learning, these two terms are used. Associative learning is a form of conditioning, a theory that states that behavior can be modified or learned based on stimulus and response. In associative learning theory, it says that based on stimulus and response, an organism changes its behavior. This means that behavior can be learned or unlearned based on the response it generates. This is about associative learning. So far what did we learn? What are the different types of learning? There are four types of learning. You have learned factual, factual learning and associations learning. There is a connection between this learning and behaviorism. J.B. Watson, John B. Watson suggested that all behaviors are a result of the learning process. The behavioral school of thought proposed studying internal thoughts, memories, and the other mental processes were too subjective. Behaviorism has contributed a great deal to our understanding of some important learning processes. Here, behaviorism contribution is more. The school of thought emerged from Watson's work was known as behaviorism. So, learning when learning takes place, behavior changes. Learning is actually relatively permanent change in behavior that results from experience. During the first half of the century, 20th century, the school of thought known as behaviorism, it is converted into psychology, change in behavior, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, then observational learning. This behaviorism, it is a school of thought in psychology that sought to measure only observable behavior. The behaviorist standpoint held that psychology was an experimental and objective science. So, internal mental processes should not be considered because they could not be directly observed and measured. We can't see what is happening in our brain, but we can observe the behavior. So, when learning takes place, we can change your behavior or we can see the change in any organism behavior or student behavior. Skinner's theory on operant conditioning, it is famous. He is the pioneer in operant conditioning. Named whatever behavior or response as operant. So this theory explains that complex human behavior by studying the voluntary responses. Conditioning is a method of learning that occurs through reward and punishments for behavior. An individual makes association between a particular behavior and a consequence. Study of observable behavior is much simpler than trying to study internal mental events. In associative learning, takes it takes place. The change in behavior they associate with rewards and they associate with punishment mean stimulus and response are more responsible in changing their behavior in associative learning. As I explained, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, a response is in operant conditioning, a response is increased or decreased due to reinforcement or punishment. In classical conditioning, neutral stimulus is associated with a natural response. Learning process in which the probability of response occurring in increased or decreased due to reinforcement or punishment. The consequences of our actions shapes into voluntary behavior. In this associative learning process in which an association is made between a previously neutral stimulus and a stimulus that naturally evokes a response. In Pavlov's classical experiment, the smell of food was a naturally occurring stimulus that was paired with the previously neutral ringing of the bell. Once an association had been made between the two, the sound of the bell alone could lead to a natural response. In associative learning, when you combine or when you have two things together in an association, then we can retrieve a good response from the organism. Next is procedural learning. Procedural, procedural learning is skill acquisition, the learning of things that we cannot state simply or declare. Procedural learning is learning by acquiring skill at a task. This differs from learning factual knowledge in that procedural learning eventually means the task can be done automatically. Here refers to the acquisition of motor skills and habits and certain types of cognitive skills. Procedural learning refers to the acquisition of motor skills and habits certain types of cognitive skills. Procedural memory is typically inaccessible to conscious recollection. In procedural learning, acquisition and memory are demonstrated through task performance. Procedural learning usually requires repetition of an activity, and associated learning is demonstrated through improved task performance. A procedural learning involves learning which is in sequence of activities, step by step acting to achieve a goal. So in procedural learning, procedure should be there, step by step, organism will be doing the activities and learning. A procedure can be either of two types, physical procedure or mental procedure. A physical procedure which entails the execution of physical movement like performing certain activities like dance, drama, playing, all these things. Mental procedure, a mental procedure which entails the execution of mental operations like adding two numbers or mental processes, poetry, singing, or then calculation. So here acquisition and improvement of skill through practice in procedural learning. Heterogeneous phenomena that includes cognitive, perceptual, motor and other skills. Here results can only be demonstrated by improvement of performance. There are advantages in this procedural learning. The procedural learning is the active part and tells how we are applying the concept. Then we want to master in our subject. Our memory, we know how it is. So when the ability to do activities and learn, we never forget that learning takes place perfectly. So this is the advantage of procedural learning. So far what are we learned? Three types of learning. First one is what? Did you understand? Factual learning. Second one is associations. Third one is procedural learning. Okay, next we move on to next type, that generalization. What is generalization? What do we generalize? Generalization is also known as transfer of learning or transfer of training. Here, learning occurs through observations and imitation of others. It refers to the degree to which learned behavior will be repeated correctly in a new situation, or a learned skill or principle will be applied in a new situation. Here, generalization is the concept among two people use past learning in present situation of learning. If the conditions in the situation are regarded as similar. See, if the conditions are similar, whatever we have learned past, that can be applied in a new situation. We generalize and applies it here. It is a process by which a behavior reinforced in one situation will be exhibited in another situation. So generalization is a concept that humans and animals use past learning in present situation of learning. If the conditions in the situations are regarded as similar, then here it is the process by which behavior is reinforced, and one situation it will be exhibited in another situation. The generalization process is an important element of learning. It is a process of generalization did not occur. Each response it would have to be learned in every specific situation. So far we have learned different types of learning. These are the sources for further reading. You can see, go through. Then here we have learned what are the different types of learning. Four types of learning takes place in every organism. So conditioning is must. In conditioning, organism changes its behavior. So conditioning helps in learning.